Welcome to the Dirty Crit. This is a event in Charlotte, North Carolina, the Whitewater Center. We've already done Heat 1. I progressed to the next round. The top two from each round progressed to the next. And now we're in round 2 of Heat 1 of round 2 that I've made it to. We've got Owen Clarck over here, who is a nasty mountain biker. You may have seen him in some of my other cyclocross videos. We're pretty evenly matched on the cross bike, but at this race, as you can see right here, I am on a gravel bike. I saw the word crit, got a little misled, thought about bringing my mountain bike, but chose to go with the gravel bike. And you can see here everybody else is also on full suspension mountain bikes. I think this is Andrew on the left, and I know I am going to have to make it into the woods before as many mountain bikers as I can, and we'll see why. So I'm making my way up here, trying to be as aggressive as possible on this gravel bike with little tiny tires. And now we're in the woods, so I've got to just not lose as much time as possible, and here is why. There's a big old rock section. I make it through all those rocks there. There's a little like bench cut, and I just have to make my way backing up. I didn't lose too much time through that. We qualified and I was 8th out of like 15 dudes, but I knew I was losing almost all my time back here. I think I lost 15 seconds to Owen there, probably just in this section here. And so coming out of the woods, I've got ground to make up. Luckily, I'm on a good bike for that. It's just gravel for most of the rest of it. And I made up a good bit of ground on the gravel and like bridge section until we get to the top part of the Whitewater Center. This is a training center for whitewater rafting, like an Olympic training center, and they put this awesome like wood bridge over it, the drained pond, and then we had a nice big berm, which was pretty wild on a gravel bike. A little water up there on top, and then another little bridge that had a drop off. I knew I was going to have to make it past as many of the dudes as I could into the woods section. I just need to be second in this round to make it to the final round. I find that little line on the right was good. I had narrow bars, so didn't clip a bar if I rode on that pavement over there, and just got into second spot into the woods. Owen was sending it, maybe not too hard, but I think he hit a little bump and got a little loose there. So I'm second wheel into the woods here. This is a great spot for me. I know if I can hold those mountain bikers up, then I'll be set for the exit, and it'll be more of a fitness thing than an equipment thing, because I have to go pretty slow through that rock section just because I am on a gravel bike with gravel tires and no suspension. Make it up through this section, and we have another lap to go after this, but I am pushing pretty hard. My heart rate's not too high, but I unclipped a pedal. I think I was just pulling up and just started running. Good thing I've done a lot of cyclocross, was able to remount pretty quickly, and didn't lose too much time here into the finish, or into the end of that segment. So got on his wheel, came back through, and now we're on. So we've got another lap and a half here, I think, and I've just got to get second place in this race. So I'm pushing pretty hard. I know I've got the advantage on this section. We come back through the next lap into the woods. I'm able to get in front again, and I have the lead into this one. I'm going to take it a little slower because I know I can take my time. Owen's way off in the distance, and the only thing I can do wrong here is to mess up this spot like I did the last time and then lose enough of a gap. So took a little more time. You can see I'm still pushing pretty high power, but I'm able to stay up in front, didn't have to dismount that time, and now we're going for it. So we've still got to fight for second. Come over the bridge section right here. I lose it a little bit, and he takes the inside line. So we are fighting for this last little segment. I didn't want to be second wheel into this, so now I know I've got to make up some good ground. We're actually pretty close to Owen there. I think he was saving it for the final. And come through the water section. I know I'm going to have to take my line to win. He's sprinting here. I have to come on the inside and hope this line is still open. I don't get pinched too far. Line's open. I get plenty of speed and have the inside of the corner. So come through that for second place in that next round. So advancing to the finals, not something I was expecting. Owen also not expecting it because I'm on a gravel bike, and it was quite a bit slower. It was pretty tense finish there. Probably the most tense finish I've had in a bike race in a while, but nevertheless, progressing to the final heat here, we've got Paul, we've got Owen, and we've got Tyler. These guys are top level mountain bikers in the country, and I am neither a top level mountain biker nor on a mountain bike, so I've just got to do the best I can. Third place gets $500 and first place gets $5,000, so I've really got to beat these guys into the woods. And already starting out, I got road pedals, didn't get into my pedal quite as fast as I would want to. Tried to come around Paul on the outside here. He's on my new team, Velocious Sport, and I still won the $500 from him. Didn't quite get around him on the outside. They were flying on these mountain bikes. These guys race these bikes all the time, so totally expected. It's a little darker here. There was some clouds rolling in, which made it a lot more comfortable. It was like 90 degrees for the other two heats, so I'm already losing a lot of contact with them. They were flying through this wood section, racing really hard for that $5,000 for first, $2,000 for second, and $500 for third. Crazy prize purse for an invitational, and it was a blast of an event. But come out of the woods here, they're pretty far gone up there, so I've just got to limit my damages, hope somebody makes a mistake and I can catch them to get that $500. Later on in this first lap, we come through the berm section, and I'm actually closing down on them. The gravel bike's helping on that back stretch, but not quite enough to account for the first stretch. So I know I'm going to have to catch them, but also come around them into the single track section, and there's lots of space to make up. On this little part, I can get up to like almost 30 miles an hour onto the pavement, and then into this turn, which got 35 miles, 33 miles an hour, a little sketchy, have to jump over that curb. And then this turn here, which we saw Owen slip out before, I had lost both wheels, unclipped here, having trouble getting my foot clip back in before I get to this downhill section. And this is freshly mowed, so I don't have a lot of traction on it. Just got my pedal back in, but at this point, they're all on it, and I lost a lot to them here. You can't even see them in the distance. But just going to have to limit losses, stay consistent, stay within as much reach as I possibly can, not give up. So come through this lap here, and I can see they're pretty far off now. So just going to ride in at a good pace, hoping I can make up for some other people's mistakes. You can see pretty big crowd there. We're going through the middle of a festival. They're about to start music on this final day, and got through the woods, no problem there. Took the right line. Usually had to take the correct line there, which is like farther up the hill, just to stop from bottoming out, and then come back through the finish. I thought I was going to catch Paul. He was sitting up a little bit, tired from maybe the whole day, and then realized I was destined for fourth place and out of the prize money on that part, unfortunately. But it was a lot of fun. Got to see my brother, got to hang out with my cousins in Charlotte, and really cool event down at the Whitewater Center. Hope they do this again, make it more of a gravel bike race, but wild. Thanks for watching. See ya.